Hey guys, NinjaGuyVR here, and today we're doing a review of Max Mustard, one of the most anticipated VR platformer of the year. You know, I'm a big sucker for platformers, so I couldn't wait to get my hands on the game. So let's check it out and see if it lives up to the hype that everybody had. So Max Mustard is a game that is releasing today on March 21st, 2024 on MetaQuest, and it is planned to be releasing on other platforms in the future. The game is available for $34.99 Canadian, and it's developed by Toast Interactive, the famous developers who's behind Richie's Plank Experience, a game that is known to be a good showcase to new VR comers. Having this game in their portfolio definitely brought eyes to this new IP that they announced, so let's get into the game. So if you've played platformers before, the game is very easy to explain, but I'd say that the most similar experience that I had in the past was by playing Super Mario 3D Land on the Nintendo 3DS. The game starts where a giant octopus arrives in this joyful land and suddenly decides to capture all little cute creatures around, and I believe that he's doing that to eventually sell them to people. And that's pretty much it. Before the creature comes too close to you, Max Mustard arrives to the rescue with their van, and then it's time to start your adventure. The game doesn't really focus on the story, but it's still nice to have this charming intro while knowing exactly what your objective is, saving these creatures. After these events, you are thrown right away into the introduction stage where you learn the basics such as moving, jumping, gliding with your jet boots, attacking enemies by jumping on them, collecting coins, and the main objective of the game, rescuing 3 little cute creatures per stage. Like I mentioned, if you're into platformers, you'll definitely feel right at home as soon as they put you in the boots of Max Mustard. When you finish the first stage, you are then greeted with the main hub of the game, which is behind Max Mustard's van. You basically have a map where you can select the stage that you would like to play. The game is composed of a total of 4 acts with around 40 stages in total and a boss at the end of each act. I believe that the game is advertised at around 8 hours of gameplay, and I don't know if it's because I'm good at platformers, but I finished it in a little under 5 hours, and I'm at 98% of the game. I believe that the reason why I'm missing 2% is because I still need to purchase one last item in the store, which is way too expensive. Speaking of which, the store is a pretty cool addition to the game. You get to purchase special abilities such as an attack button, a piggy bank for more coins, a dash, extra hearts, and things like that. It's really fun being introduced to new things you can do with Max through your playthrough. You can grab coins by collecting them throughout the levels. There are regular coins, then blue coins that gives a bunch of coins at the same time, red coins which appears and you only have a certain amount of time to get them, and then there's the hourglass, and when you grab it, the letters of Mustard appears on the stage, and if you collect them all within a period, you get rewarded with even more coins. So as you can see, your pockets will definitely not be empty after finishing the stage. There's even hidden boxes at some places if you're an explorer. So the only thing that counts in your completion is collecting the 3 little creatures. There's no such thing as time attacks, collectathons, or other types of completionist mechanics. I think that they decided to have some kind of a cozy aspect to it, which is kinda cool. I definitely felt pretty relaxed throughout the game. The levels are not too difficult, and I could see casual gamers able to finish the game with a little bit of effort. There might have been about 3 stages that gave me a little bit of a hard time, but they always gives you a fair chance to get the 3 creatures. You never feel like you missed them in any way, and it helps that they make a sound when they're close to you. The level design is excellent. I finished the game within 2 days, and I never felt bored. There were always new mechanics, so every time I was selecting a stage, I was always like, man, what are they going to throw at me this time? They also have side levels where you have to hit a bunch of targets in a certain amount of time. This gives you coins and a creature if you have a good score. The plunger and a suction weapon is also available in regular stages from time to time. There's also a side stage where you can collect a bunch of coins with a time limit, kind of like a bonus stage. There are a few nitpicks that I would like to mention. The music really didn't click with me. Personally, it sounded like the type of music you'd hear in a commercial or a PowerPoint presentation. It just didn't feel like it had the elements of what a video game music should be. On top of that, there weren't enough variety. I would hear the same songs in the last act that I've heard in the first act. With that said, it did not impact the fun factor of the game. Something that I've noticed also is that Max's footsteps sound is always the same volume and doesn't react to the position that Max is, so sometimes I would lose focus on where they are, and the footstep really didn't help me in positioning them. I feel like being able to pinpoint where your character is with sound is kind of important. I've only encountered one bug where the ending lever was not visible, but luckily, I just jumped and randomly was able to activate it. I'm sure that we'll see some patches along the road. Alright guys, I hope that this gives you a good impression on what the game is. I absolutely recommend this game to anyone, even if you're not typically a platformer person. To me, it's the best platformer I've played in VR so far. It really shines in quality, and it's a beautiful world that checks all the right boxes. So this should solidify your decision to get it. Man, I really hope that they keep this IP going. Seriously, I'd love to see maybe a DLC or a sequel to it. Max is definitely a character that I want to go back to. Thank you very much for watching, and don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe if you don't want to miss other reviews from games coming out in VR, and leave a comment if you have something to say about the game or if you have any requests for review that you'd like me to do. Bye everyone!